shadow, by the window, that is where I'll be. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me. Tiptoe from your pillow to the shadow of a willow tree, and tiptoe through the tulips with me. Knee-deep in flowers we'll stray, we'll keep the showers away, and if I kiss you in the garden, in the moonlight, will you pardon me? Come tiptoe through the tulips with
Will you come and tiptoe through the minefields with me? Hello, everybody. Joe Lewis here with Battle Rankings Live. I'm joined by my producer, Ann. Say a lovely and talented producer, Ann. Say hello, Ann.
Hello, Ann.
Anyway, we're here, we actually got a suggestion of actually doing a topic, and they said, could you do minefields? They were struggling with it. Or had some questions with it, and I said, "Oh, what the heck?" So we're going to go through and do minefields. Yeah, actually, to tell you the truth, it was something I was kind of quasi with on minefields. I generally like to avoid them. So, but I went through it and I did a lot of research. Both Team Yankee and Flames of War. The good news is they're the same rules, so that makes it easy. But do you know what today is?
Yes, I do.
Do you know it is the 200th anniversary of Napoleon's death?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
He died on St. Helens Island in exile. 200 years ago. So, actually, were you with me? Because I actually visited Napoleon's tomb.
I don't think I was with you that time.
Okay, yeah, I was when I was in Paris.
Oh wait, where is it?
In Paris.
No, but where in Paris?
No,
Is it in the Pantheon?
No, it's not the Pantheon.
Okay.
He has his own Pantheon. In fact, the most famous French people, including one Polish person, is buried in the Pantheon.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I know what the Polish person is.
Yes,
Madame Curie.
Madame Curie. But they're buried in the Pantheon.
Right.
Except for one very famous poet. Matter of fact, his ego wouldn't fit in.
His ego wouldn't fit.
Yeah, he just wouldn't fit there. So he had to get his own building.
All right.
He's like, So, but minefields and how we're going to talk about navigating them.
Right.
But do you know there's different types of minefields?
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah. There's the in-the-ground minefields. Mm-hmm. There's in the water minefields. And there's social and political minefields.
Oh, really?
Yes. And let's navigate one of them right now.
Okay.
Because it's Cinco de Mayo! Yeah. Yum. Ole!
So cultural appropriation, huh?
A culprit, yeah, appropriate, culprit approach. Wow, I just had a sip. That's all. Yeah.
Cultural appropriation.
Bring on the mariachi bands.
Mm.
Yeah, in fact, this is actually pretty good, Ann. Thanks.
Thank you.
Mm.
You want to take the issue too?
We can bring it down just a little. There's also air minefield. I don't know what those balloons.
Tortilla chip?
Oh, a tortilla chip. Thank you. Yum 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 yum. Yep. But so there's all kinds of minefields. Anyway,
Dancing through the minefield here.
dancing to the minefields. So anyway, we're going to be celebrating. You know what? I was reading that Cinco de Mayo is actually celebrated more in the United States than actually in Mexico.
It's a reason to get Mexican food.
Oh, yeah. So a little thing about us is that every Wednesday,
Before the show.
before the show, because we don't, because we're prepping for the show.
We don't have time to cook.
Yeah, we don't have time to cook, so we go and get Mexican.
Tacos.
Yep, tacos from El Diablo.
The tacos La Diabla.
Yeah, it's a tacos El Diablo, right? Yeah, and the good people there, they know us, so we get our tacos. They take care of us. So yeah, every Wednesday we're getting tacos. Yeah, it's almost like I'm in.
And tonight they were completely insane.
Oh, I'm sure they were. Yeah, it's like St. Patrick's Day except for Mexico. Yeah, and a lot of people think it's actually a celebration of the Independence Day. No, they just won a battle. I think their Independence Day is actually in September or something like that, or September. How is the Mexican food in Indiana? The Mexican food in Indiana is fine.
It is actually pretty good.
It's actually really good.
They have actual Mexicans running the Mexican restaurants.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
and they know how to cook it, so they're doing pretty well. Yeah.
Actually, I heard. Right.
It is good stuff.
Because I was mentioning El Diablo, the taco place, and one of my coworkers mentioned that he actually started with a food truck.
Really?
He did. He started with a food truck that was just a little down the street, and then saved his pesos and ended up getting the restaurant.
Oh, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
We try to support them as often as we can.
Yep. In Mexico, they just call it food. Yep. Fred's went to a place in Fountain Square.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Anyway, so.
Do you guys like my pretty margarita? Show my margarita again.
Oh yeah. And there's some
strawberry margarita.
Strawberry margarita with the strawberry and the lime. Mm.
Testing on my new blender.
I guess with that.
Okay.
What's no, having it play in the background. What the heck?
Okay. Keep on going while you.
Yeah.
Your tournament scene.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the tournaments coming up. Well, just Patrick, man, just go out and get some tacos. Oh, by the way, I was mentioning this. Don't go get Taco Bell or Chipotle. Now, I love Chipotle. Okay, but this is not a Chipotle night.
Support your local Mexican restaurants.
Yeah, I mean,
independent restaurants.
So, let's talk about tournaments. Well, we got the little mariachi band. Yeah, matter of fact, they're live here. They're playing in the background.
We're gonna play a bunch of guys. Come on over.
Yep. This next weekend we have on May 15th game table adventures in Newark, Ohio. They're doing late war 105 3 rounds, and then on May 22nd we have a pair of tournaments going on. One in Indianapolis, the other one in Minneapolis. The Indianapolis, it's a 3 rounds, mid-war, 90 points. But there's a little asterisk on the 90. And I believe there's 1 or 2 spots open left for that one. And then also same day, May 22nd, Screaming Eagles are hosting an event. Late War, it's an escalation, 75, 90, 105, 3 rounds. So you got that going on. Oh, shoot. Also on the 22nd, in Friendswood, Texas, Third Coast Games, they're doing a Flames of War, Late War, 100 points, 3 rounds. So they got that going on. Okay. So for the Family Time Games, Indianapolis, it's actually, we have 3 people on the waiting list now. So I guess that did get filled up. So, yeah, snooze, you lose. I mean, I've only been talking about it for about a month now. June 12th, Daikon, which is actually the 12th and the 13th. So on the 12th, they're doing a Team Yankee. I forget changing it. It's 105 late Team Yankee, 105, 3 rounds. And on the 13th, they're doing Late War 105, 3 rounds. Then the following weekend, June 19th and the 20th, at Station Retro in Huntsville, Alabama. Which I believe they have a whole bunch of NASA stuff, their rocket stuff. Need to stop and see it. Man, if you're not moving to this music, you're dead. Anyway, Late War 105 D-Day theme, 5 rounds. So it's 2 days, 5 rounds. So that's what's Station Retro there in Huntsville. Then we move to the weekend of June 26th. So at Family Time Games, that's the weekend we're doing Team Yankee Masters. That's why I wear my TO shirt for Team Yankee. Actually right now I feel like I'm waiting for the answers of a question coming up. Yeah. Okay, anyway. So Team Yankee, okay. Yes, Patrick, the invitations to Masters were sent out last night. So if you believe you're on the list and you did not receive it, check your junk mail. Okay. Anyway.
Yes, check
your junk mail. There's a couple people.
filters.
I sent the invites out last night, and a bunch of people have replied so far. So I know a bunch of people got it, and I know there's a couple people that said they haven't. And I think, Patrick says, "Not me, man. I'm not in that class." Well, you know what, Patrick? Someday, yeah, you're in a class of your own. You can, something to look forward to, something to shoot for. But yeah, the invites were sent out. So far, everyone said yes except one. Unfortunately, that person is like moving into their brand new house.
Priorities.
I mean, come on. You know where their priorities are. Jeez, Pete. But anyway, I digress. So for Family Time Games, so Team Yankee, the missions, the whatchamacallit sent out. I will talk about that probably next week, what the format is. In fact, I'll go into the format in more detail. I got another one. John Myers coming. John, I think you answered me.
We RSVP'd for his wedding, right?
Oh yeah. And by the way, we RSVP'd for the wedding too. So yeah, John has been planning for a wedding. So Bum, 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 bum. So I'll talk about that next week. But also on that Saturday, we're doing a side tournament for the locals and anyone else who shows up. That's on the 26th. I know it's going to be mid-war. I haven't figured out points or anything like that for that. So I got all that.
You run 2 tournaments at once?
Oh yeah, I did a couple years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, a piece of cake. Well, okay, hold on. First of all, Masters pretty much runs itself. You just set the matchups, wind it up, and go. Pretty much Master players know the rules, so all you're doing is just scorekeeping. And every now and then, you got to get them back into a neutral corner and tell them to calm down. No, that doesn't happen. But anyway. Mostly runs itself. What you do is you offset the two. So one starts a little bit, or one starts earlier, the one that starts later. So you get the master players going, then you get the everyone else going. So if you know a Masters player who got an invite and you want to travel with them, you have something to do on Saturday. And by the way, on Sunday, that's Sunday at I am planning to do another show. Last year we kind of unannounced it. We actually did like a 3-hour show. So we had some special guests and other people came in. We had people over the internet coming on. So we're going to do that. And also I'm working on trying to see if we can actually better broadcast the game over one of the tables. So I might look for a rig, that holds a camera over it and, a little bit. We had a good idea last Masters, but well, anyway, what baby steps. We're PDCAing it. We're in the improvement cycle. Okay. So that's what's going on with that. By the way, I do have some fantastic news. I got 2 fantastic news. So first of all, I'll go with the one up there. The August 20th and the 21st, NashCon will be hosting Flames of War tournaments. Yay, NashCon, yay. So they got to figure it out. I already signed up. I went, sign up. So on Friday, they're doing a late war 105, 3 rounds. And then on Saturday, they're doing a mid-war. Glad to see mid-war is coming back. But they're doing a Eastern Front de-escalation. Yeah, that's where hey, guys, calm down. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about your feelings. Now, how do you feel about that? No, it's not that kind of de-escalation. It's basically you start off with 95 points, 85 points, and then 79 points. And they said it was tied with some anniversary. So I'm not too sure. Maybe someone knows. But that's NashCon. So NashCon is going to have something. Now,
in August.
In August, 20th and 21st. Fred's here posted Gen Con update.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, Gen Con update. Look, this is why we do these things live. Because, because you never know what breaking news is going to come in. Boom, breaking news. Boom, right? Boom. You know what that deserves? That deserves a drink of that.
Is boom the word of the night?
Boom?
Yeah, boom.
Boom's the word. Drink up. Yeah. Gen Con update. Event submission open next week, and Able Company has been approved to run events.
Booyah.
Booyah. I would hope so. Jeez. I would hopefully have more details soon. Good. The con itself will be smaller, and we won't be in the stadium this year since it's football season. Boo. We can play around it.
Clear.
I see. Patrick knew it. It's the 79th anniversary Stalingrad.
Oh.
79th anniversary Stalingrad. Oh. Now, did I tell you I knew a guy? His name was Scott. Back in my Chicago when I was in Chicago. He thought he was a reincarnate from a soldier from Stalingrad. That it was reincarnation of a soul that actually was in Stalingrad.
Really?
Yep. And basically everything you would think about that concept holds true for this individual. All right. Now, anyway. So there's our Gen Con update. Now, I'm still waiting for Advance the Colors, CincyCon, and Fall, and Historicon to come out with their stuff, but it'll be coming forth. So this is good news. The summer tournament season is starting to shape up. Yay! And with that, I say, boom! Oh. Actually, it gets better every time I drink it. What's that all about?
There is tequila in that, by the way, people.
Of course. And it makes me want to have a chip. Okay. By the way, in Britain, is it called a crisp?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anyway. Oh. Okay. Let's go.
Yeah, you got to talk about Minefields.
Do I got to talk about Minefields?
Yes, you do.
I do? Okay. I'll talk about Minefields. All right. First of all.
Should I take the music out?
No, it's totally inappropriate for the subject. Leave it in.
Right.
Okay. By the way, if you Charlie Clay says you're waiting to see my face after a brain freeze. You're like
I just don't want them to pull your video up there.
oh, anyway, so let's talk about Minefields. So a subject came up. One of our viewers wrote, hey Joe, can you discuss Minefields? Because they had a game where they had a discussion about it, and they wanted to know everything, no particular things. So I'm kind of doing a what I call a indispensable manual on Minefields. So here's everything about Minefields. Let's first talk about what is a minefield. So a minefield is that little marker and 2 inches around it. That's the area of a minefield. Okay. Now, I don't know if you know this, but if you take a regular American size DVD or CD, which actually come to think about it, I think it's standard everywhere, is actually 2 inches from the token, which is the size of a minefield. Now, I don't know if Battlefront planned it that way. I doubt it. Because I know that the markers were this size for the longest time. And I know it's easier to ship something that size and call it a minefield than actually try to send you out a minefield. I don't know if you guys remember, back in the day, this just used to be a minefield. Matter of fact, this is one of my minefields. That was one of the minefields back in the day. So, but this is what they say is a minefield. Now, you could bring a DVD or a CD. I know one of these that I'm using was like a potty time video from when my son was really young and was trying to learn, we're trying to get him to potty train. So that's one of the DVDs. So anyway, by using that, now, I'm a little brag. I think I'm the first one to figure that out, and I spread the word. Now everyone's doing it. So I like to say I came up with this idea. Anyway, yeah. Oh, actually, right. Yeah. Back in my day, minefields were rectangles. None of this silly square stuff. I think for me, visually, putting down the bunch of round discs like this actually mark off. It's pretty evident exactly where the minefield starts and ends. So I think that's a better way to go. Some people have made kind of rubbery or silicone minefields of the disc shape here. That way you can actually lay it down on hills. It lays down flatter. I like that idea. Just haven't got around to it. But anyway, that's a picture of one of my minefields. Now, so let's go and look at the rules as written, actually as summarized by me. Minefields are referenced on in Flames War, page 112, and in Team Yankee on page 94. And let me show and between the two rule sets, it's written the same. It's the same verbiage. And matter of fact, this example that they give is pretty much identical also, even to the die rolls that are written. So it's kind of like they planned that. So moving on or through a minefield. So what's before we talk about actually deploying a minefield, let's actually talk about what a minefield is and does. And then I think deploying, then we'll have better choices or informed choices about how to deploy. So if you're going to move on or through a minefield, so every time you move on it or through it, and that's including assaults. So if you're assaulting on a minefield for some strange reason, you have to pass a skill test. So you make a skill test or tactics. So this is one of those things where tactics comes into play to cross safely. If you pass, say you have a skill of 3+ and you roll the 3 or higher, you pass, yay. And you can move as normal or assault or whatever you need to do. If you fail, bad things happen. So you roll a save. So if you're infantry, it's 3+. If you're an armored vehicle, it's a AT 5 versus your top armor, and it's a firepower of 1+. So if you have that, that top armor 1, and you fail, basically boom. Oh, boom. So drink up, boom. I swear it does get better. But if you tie, you are bailed. If you succeed it, you move on as normal. If you fail, you halt into the middle of the minefield, and that's where you hold up. Either you're blown up there or you're bailed. This is another important thing. A unit hit by a mine is pinned, but after movement. So that way, if you're going to move people onto the minefield for the purpose of removing it, which we'll get to next, just because one person, you say your first stand blows it, you can move the rest of the squad. They're not, you're not pinned until the end of the movement. So now clearing a minefield. All right, so there's a bunch of conditions here. So if you have a unit leader not pinned, they may issue a clear order instead of moving. Well, it's kind of interesting. If you go through the movement orders, this is not listed there. This is the only place that refers to it is in the minefield about clearing. So the clear order instead of moving. So the conditions to remove: a tank team with a mine clearing device or an infantry team. Those are the only ones that can remove. You're within 6 inches of said leader that issued the order. So even if you're a large platoon, you still need to be within 6. It's not 8. And they started on the minefield. Now, it actually doesn't say started on the minefield. It actually states having moved onto the minefield in the previous turn. So, which we're going to discuss that, what the meaning of how the deeper meaning of that here in a sec. Now the restriction. Now then, what you do is you just say I remove it. It's gone. So that particular unit is gone. Everyone else, that particular team removes it. Everyone else moves. Actually, does the whole platoon have to follow the order, or can some clear the mines and other move? Charlie, yes. It's basically the leader. So here's the order. The leader issues the order, and he cannot move. Then any team that meets these conditions, it's starting on the minefield, it's within 6 inches of said leader, and is an infantry or a tank team with a clearing device, then they can remove it. So if you you basically need a minimum of 2 things to remove a minefield: the unit leader to say move it, and the guy to do it. All right. Now, once they do that, thanks for the question. Once they do that, there's restrictions on those that just did that. Actually, can the unit? I don't know. Yeah.
Well, there's a question you don't know?
Well, the thing is that it basically says the unit leader who's not pinned can issue the clear order instead of moving. Right?
Right.
So he issues the order. So can then he move? I don't know. As written, I don't think so. I mean, that's probably a lessons, or lessons of the front thing. But I think he can. So yes, you're saying yes, he can move it. I'm just wondering where that's, because the thing is they put restrictions on the leader. So I can see this argument happening. Hey, this guy's just issuing the order. I didn't think he could move it, but whatever. We'll figure it. I think we need to get a lessons from front thing just to make sure. Restrictions. Now, once you do this, you count as moving, but you cannot move. There's nothing required to be a separate team. Let's see here. Instead of moving. All right. You cannot move further, shoot, or assault. Basically, on that cannot move further or shoot or assault, I take that as you cannot do a shoot and scoot. And started on the minefield. I think I copy and paste and didn't remove that. So basically the 2 things: you can't move further, and you can't shoot or assault. So that guy's just flapping out in the breeze who that was removing it. Any questions on that? All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to okay. Chris is saying that the unit leader is within 6 of himself and is only required other than being in the minefield. Well, that's actually, if the leader's in the minefield talking about leading from the front or taking examples, So let's talk about lessons of front. The questions that came up. So, the section, once again, the lessons of the front section's more larger than the actual rules. But a couple things. Now, by the way, this section here is the same as the field manual. And then my next page has what's unique in the field manual for Team Yankee. So for lessons in front and Team Yankee, when I place a minefield, can I overlap and make a unit try crossing a crossing roll skill for each minefield? The answer is no. Basically, once you enter an area for mines, you only roll once. However, a team to successfully remove a minefield can only remove one. So if you overlap and you remove one, you have to remove the other. I guess it's just showing how much extra mines are out there. When a team removes a minefield, instead of moving, using a mine clearing order, is that mine removed right away or at the end? It's removed immediately. So I would issue the order, remove the minefield, and then everyone else then you actually physically pick it up, and then everyone else can move as normal. A team using a blitz move order.
Boom.
It goes boom?
It goes boom.
Uh-oh, go boom. Drinking. Oh, it's a famous song. When team using a blitz move order, they still need to take a cross check to assess if they're going to get hit by a minefield. First of all, I can't believe that's even a question. The answer is yes. Yeah, by the way, if you move there, you don't count as moving for things that happen afterwards. So, can I deploy a unit in the minefield? If so, what happens? All right, so big question. In my deployment, can I put, if you're defending, lay down a minefield, and then start someone dug in, gone to ground in the minefield? The answer is yes. Yes, you can. The thing, so a good example of that is if you took a machine, LMGs, took the bunker card for LMGs for 2 points, and then have them on your front line. And so, what you do is, here's your minefield. Here's an unpainted guy. Say that's my LMG, and the enemy's coming this, moving this direction. I can have this guy in the back end protecting this minefield with the bunker, the LMG bunker. That is perfectly legal. And if they assault every time they're going to take a swing, they need to make a skill check or boom. Oh, boom. Yep. Drink up. I swear it is getting better every time I. Yeah, Patrick's a good place to put 88 in S2. Now, okay. The situation is, say you actually put a normal, infantry team in there. God, I hope you don't put a regular gun team in there. But anyway, and if you want to leave, you actually have to do the whole minefield thing. Your unit, if it moves or counterattacks an assault, okay, it must test for casualties just like any other unit crossing a minefield. So, which kind of makes me wonder, how does a bunker do that? If a unit, presumably you are dug in with the minefield surrounding your position. The path through the minefield is used for supplies and other necessary activities are too difficult to negotiate under fire. So the unit is fine as long as it remains in the foxholes. However, if it moves or counterattacks, if assaulted, it will have to test for casualties just like any other unit crossing a minefield. All right. If a unit deploys in a minefield, how does it go about clearing it? Well, first of all, it moves into the minefield out of its carefully prepared defense, testing to do so. And then the next turn, it can then remove the minefield as normal. Then the next question is, if I counterattack against a team in the minefield, am I risk getting hit by it? Yes. So there you go. Movement orders. So there's a section under movement orders. When a team, you know what, that's a good question, because I would think that no, they don't move. So how can they do that? I don't know, but I know that question was asked about it if you deploy a regular unit, not a bunker. So we'll have to ask about bunkers. When a team moves using blitz move order, do they follow all the new movement rules? But are they actually moving? Okay. This means you can take a cross. Hold on. Yes, a team that uses a blitz move order doesn't suddenly teleport to a new location. It moves 4 inches as normal. You follow all the rules normal for that. Then once it's finished its movement, no longer as counted as moved. Great. This means that you can, if you take any cross tech, you roll the cross to minefields as usual and leave any foxholes it has behind. So if you blitz, that means you need to check for minefields and stuff, even though you don't think you've moved. I hope everyone understands that for blitzing, you actually move. It's just you don't count as moved for the purpose of shooting and for gone to ground. Do dug in or mine clearing movement orders prevent a team that are not digging in foxholes or clearing mines from moving? No. Teams that this is Charlie Clay's question. No, teams that are not using the movement orders can act as they wish. There you go. And then once again, there's the counterattack thing. If I counterattack with a team in minefields, do I risk getting hit? Once again, yes. So I think I found that in 2 places. Now let's go on to the more interesting section. The field manual for Team Yankee. I'm all right. Anyway, we're gonna go on with this. I'll get to it. What's that? What annoys me? What's eating my goat? Getting my goat?
Yeah, getting your goat.
Getting my goat? Got my goat?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, there's a goat.
If there's a goat involved,
And it's been caught of some sort. In a forest building example, the M109 pays 3 points for a bombette munitions. The card of them report for the whole unit. Well spotted. It is shown that when buying laser guided munitions, they are 1 point per team. Unlike bombettes and minettes, they are 1 point. Okay. Note that the same version of card also has a glitch that state that the minettes and bombettes are +1 per team, whereas it should be 1 point for the whole unit. Hope everyone knows it. Oh yeah. I'm with you, Patrick. Some artillery has minelet ammunition. Well, good for them. So place a minefield for every 3 weapons firing. I have 4 guns. I want more. How many minefields do I get to place? None. Go away. No, actually, you get 2. So basically, it's like 4, you get 3, you get 1, 4, you get 2. So you get to place, minefields. 2. Basically, what you do is you get to create 2 minefields with 4 guns. You just plop them down. Boom, boom. Of course, you have to range in. By the way, with all one-shot weapons like this, if you fail to range in, you do not lose the one shot. It actually has to be deployed on the table. That includes smoke and these bomblets and that kind of stuff. Let me talk about the bomblets. And a little problem for Team Yankee Russians. Team Yankee Russians skill set is a 5+. They just suck. And the thing is that if you were a allied unit and you can just for 1 point buy some minelets and just drop them on, Russian vehicles, basically they're dead. The chances of passing a 5, well, it's a 1/3 chance, but you plop enough of them, you get put 2 down, you get six underneath the 2 templates. They try to move, they're dead. Basically, you take them out. I know the tops are 2 and you're going against 5, but the chances of them making their skill check, well, for me it's 0, and the chances of moving out is also 0. So basically, just dead. So 1 point takes out, I don't know, depending on how many points your tanks are. Say, if they're T-72s, you're looking at 20 some odd points. Yeah, basically, you drop them on some T-80s and boom. Said boom. Anyway, there you go. Just going to have that right there. So, great. Well, enter for 1 point. You can add a mine clearing device to your Russian vehicle, your Russian tank. Now, the question is, when we're going over the rules about moving, clearing a mine. So if they drop the minefield on you, are you considered started in the minefield? Or do you have to move and then be able to clear the minefield a second turn later? That was the question I have. Now, personally, I think, you know what? You drop this on something with a mine, mine clearer, I should be able to remove the mine. That's why it's there. My 1 point negates your 1 point. But, the way the rule's written, well, they weren't deployed in the minefield, so clear it, baby. Patrick, I agree with you, but I see an argument coming. Yeah, because I'll read the rules as is. By the way, I know I'm supposed to be clearing things up, not making them more money here. Having moved into the minefield on the previous turn. Well, if the minefield wasn't there, you couldn't have moved into it. Are you in a minefield if it was dropped on you? I'm going to say yes. Yeah, Chris says, the rule says you must move in the minefield the turn before the order to remove it. So someone who's an allied player is saying no. So, yeah. So the thing is that then now you get back to the mine clearing device. If it's the way Chris says, that you have to actually move into it to clear it, that means that 1 point is worthless. Because you're just going to lose, rolling a 5 or 6 to save the vehicle is, if you do that, you might as well move out of the minefield. So these are good questions that I came up with. So, I think you and your opponents are going to need to figure that out. If you have a mine moving equipment and they're going to drop minelets on you, because for 1 point you're basically just killing you're just killing Russian tanks so easily. And by the way, they die easily anyway. So I guess that's kind of my rant on that. Because I'm thinking if you're silly enough to put it there, why not just drop the mine clearing, shovel thing and just start clearing my way out of the minefield? Just, I don't know. Yeah, Patrick says, yeah, that Chris, spoken like a NATO player. Says, for the minefields present at deployment, dropped on me with a plow tank on it. I'm removing it on my turn. So that is something that I think needs to be cleared up. I'm thinking my 1 point should clear out, should counteract another 1 pointer. And if I don't spend the 1 point, well, silly me, I should lose my tanks. Besides, I can only have 3. Now, the real jerk move is you drop them down, and then you laser the 3 tanks with the mine, the mine scoopers or the mine plows, and you just blow them up, and then all their buddies are trapped. It could be done. Now, he says, but the rule says it should take 2 turns. 1 turn you move in, the second to remove it. Yeah, but the thing is that you're in it. It dropped. You know what? We didn't land on the minefield. The minefield landed on us. So, you like that one? Okay. Anyway, yeah. Charlie Clace is here. The whole thing about moving into a field is to get within the 2 inches of the counter, inside the effective 2-inch radius. But if you're already plow on, yeah. Oh, Patrick says in the Soviet Russia, minefields find you. That's correct. We got Chris here. So if you drop it on artillery, standing where they can automatically move it on their turn. I don't know. I think that would be interesting, wouldn't it? It would look like that. Where I would drop it is I would put it on the armored cars, things that don't have minesweepers. Just saying. But no, it's a good question. Why do I have this mine plow? Now, of course, the infantry just goes out there and starts picking it up. I don't know. It's a good question. I should pose a question to Phil. I think I will. Just for some clarification. All right. Anyway, with that said, so yeah, Charlie's, they're starting within 2 inches of minefield counter. Yeah, but it kind of defeats the purpose of dropping it there. But the thing is, it's only 1 point. That was a deadly 1-pointer on top of everything else it can do. Anyway, I'll put something together and ask them. But these are, speaking of minefields, you're probably going to run into this question, and you might want to sort it out before you play your next tournament, because these things are going to come up. All right. Let me. What is next? Okay. So now that we know what minefields do, when do you have a minefield in your game, other than when dirty NATO persons bring it into the battlefield? That's when the mission actually states that there's minefields. For example, the mission here, Cornered, actually has minefields that start with it. So it will state in the order of battle that there's special rules. One of them is minefields, who gets them. And it'll also say how many you get. 25. You get 1 for every 25 points. So if you're doing a 75-point game, you get 3 minefields. Also remember, there's a new mission that actually it's 1 for every 50 points. So there's that. Be on the lookout for that too. So that's when a minefield will come up in a game. And most of them are the defender-ish games where there's a true someone pick defend. All right. So now we know what the rules are like and when minefields come up. Let's look at some examples. Actually, hold on. Let me digress. I'm not going to look at examples yet. I want to bring this up. So, are there special units that do things with minefields other than dirty NATO people that bring minelets? The answer is yes. So, for the U.S., there are the combat engineers. They also have airborne combat engineers. If you take a look, the infantry teams cross minefield safely on a 3+. So I believe that in the mid-war, I think their skill is a 5, but these gentlemen cross on 3s. That's pretty good. And your airborne guys, they cross on 2s plus, and they also get a little bonus for digging in. There's also demolition experts. These guys are, I think that I got this from late war. So U.S. build, formation, a rifle company. For every platoon, so this must equal the number of rifle platoons of the company. So these are demo experts, and so they get a couple things, but they also cross minefields on a 3+. And then late war British in the D-Day book. Hello, Sherman. Speaking of minefields, how you doing there, kitty? They also have they roll successfully on minefields of the 3+, or digging on 3+ too. That's pretty cool. Now, I also noticed something else interesting. Hello. Come on. You want to say just chill over here, okay? Bring the butt down. People don't see your butt. That the minefield, dummy minefields. So the U.S. and British have the dummy minefield card. So for 5 points, if a mission has a minefield, after deployment, you may redeploy a minefield marker anywhere outside your opponent's deployment area. In missions without minefields, you may deploy a minefield marker anywhere outside your opponent's deployment, but before placing objectives. Okay. Now, this is interesting. I was looking at this saying, hey, you know what? My opponent puts down some minefields, but before we begin, after deployment, I can redeploy a minefield marker. Basically, I could take a minefield and just move it. And this is after deployment. So maybe I could clear a minefield with it. That's pretty cool. So I noticed that the British and the U.S. have this dummy minefield option for 5 points. Now, let's look at the Germans and Soviets. Instead of having little companies, they actually can name platoons. So the Germans can have pioneers, regular pioneers, or panzer pioneers. And they cross minefields on 2s and dig on 2s. Yeah, Patrick. Patrick stated that 5 points is a lot, though. That is correct. Back to this, the sappers. So you can have regular sappers or hero sappers, which are basically their equivalent. Sappers, which are for the regular rifle company. They cross minefields on a 4. But the hero sappers, they cross minefields on 2s, and that's for 2 points. So the hero sappers cost more, but they cross on 2s. And the pioneer, and you can have one pioneer for 1 point for your Germans, which actually, if you have 1 point, I think it's well worth it, especially if you're going to be moving a lot or attacking. Interesting is that the Soviet and German players have a thing called old minefields. This is their minefield option. Before objectives are placed, you can place 5 old minefield markers, and players alternately place markers. So the owner of the card puts 3, the other one puts 2. and they must be placed in no man's land. When a team moves within the 2 inches of the old minefield marker on a score of 4+, they remove the old minefield marker. Otherwise, the old minefield is a minefield marker, and you must test as if it was a minefield. So this is interesting. The 5 points, you get to place a one minefield, or remove a minefield. This one is you and your opponent get to put minefields out there. Yeah. So I don't know if it's worth 2 points, but the thing is, you get to place 3 minefields, and your opponent gets to place 2. So I guess that may be why it's only 2 points, because there's some negativity with it. So let me look. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do here, those are different things that you can do to improve your platoons from minefields. Let's talk about actually deployment of minefields. You want to have minefields out there. So what I did is I grabbed some examples. So this first one was a game that Tom Burgess and Chris Fretz were playing, and they went over this a couple weeks ago. Ed Hall. Were you looking for Ed Hall? Anyway, you remember Tom placed his minefield markers here, and if you take a look, he placed a couple of his MG teams here. Let's see here. Hold on. Per a recent discussion on Facebook, I think it's player cannot use a minefield card and play with less the points. Cannot use them. Cannot use the minefield card and play with less points. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, you mean I'm not too sure where that's going. Anyway, back with this. So remember Tom put out the minefields? And so he had his minefields here. Then what happened was he kind of thought he should have had it going in front of the building. Yeah, because this infantry platoon went and occupied the building and was close enough to the objective. If they were out here, they would have to fiddle with that, and you can use the bunkers to start machine gunning guys who are trying to remove. So yeah, the smarter move would have been there. And the only reason I'm saying that is because Tom said it. I said that was a good place right there. So why would you want to put a minefield there? Well, remember the goal of putting a minefield up is to funnel or direct your enemy somewhere else. It's actually to help one area and bolster another, or funneling. So this one would have helped with funneling, but they were able to get past it and get within 8 inches of the objective for the game purposes. Let's look at another example. Here, similar. You have 5 minefields. Now, if you see how they're going across, what they're trying to do is they're trying to block. They're trying to block direction this way. Now the thing is that the one way to go is obviously towards the right, but there is a gap here by the cell phone that you can get through. So you might want to pinch that off, or something like that. But you could see where this is trying to block and funnel. And it looks like that's what's going on here, is that the forces are being funneled this way in this game. Let's look at another example. Here's a great example of that funneling. Right off camera here is where there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minefields. This one's actually the one that's kind of off camera here is actually up against the side. It's making a nice line, and it's protecting this objective. It is on this side of the trees so that if someone wants to come on top of it, everyone who's 6 inches can shoot. And also, by the way, this is one I did. That was what I was trying to do. And it is, I know it kind of looks like an angle, but it's really not. It's going straight across. There's Panzer. I know this is not too sure what turn this is, but the Panzer IVs were hanging out here in case someone was trying to get across and nail down that objective. The opponent ended up going for the other objective. And if you take a look, there's a Ferdinand and 2 Tigers and a bunch of other stuff over here trying to deny all that activity. So once again, it's saying, hey, I know you would like to use this tree to come in, but when you get here, now what? You going to cross the minefield? Well, if you send your infantry, my infantry is going to chew it up. So the opponent I was playing decided to go the other way. Let's take a look at this one. All right, this is a kind of an example of what not to do. I don't know who's playing, so that's good. If you do, just keep it to yourself. But there they are. They're using felt or baloney for their minefields. And if you just see, they look like they were trying to block coming to this minefield here. And if you take a look, they have a pack front going on, right? So there's that. Let me show you the pack front, where the pack front is. One of the things here, what you're doing is you are driving by putting this here and allowing these tank destroyers to go this way. You are basically taking your pack front out of shooting, though this guy is kind of hanging out there for this shot. But yeah, these tank destroyers are sitting over here. If you would have blocked here, right? If it would have blocked right here, then the only place you can really go is towards the pack front. That's what you want to do, is you want to funnel them towards the teeth, right? This actually takes them away from the teeth. So when you're thinking about where you're going to put your minefields, think about that, because this is what I would do. I would end up going across and then assaulting, machine gunning, let this guy get one shot, and then take it out. I don't know if I'd be taking it with tank destroyers. I'd probably be taking it out with my, I'd probably have more stuff over here going this way after deployment. I don't know what mission they're playing, but it's probably not no retreat, but fighting withdrawal. It looks like fighting withdrawal. A lot of stuff on the table, minefields. The way these things are placed. I should see one more objective somewhere. Anyway, but yeah, don't use this, because right now what you're doing is you're telling the opponent to go around crap, where instead of you're saying try to come through the teeth. Here's another example of almost good idea. So you got this water obstacle. So here's 2 minefields blocking that off. That's good. But the problem is, here's the objective, and here are the things. Fretz, actually, you know what? That is your stuff, Fretz. So Chris is trying to come this way. These minefields are not stopping Chris whatsoever. I don't know who you were playing. It looks like, I don't know. Rich? Oh, okay. Never mind. I was like, okay. So the thing is that these minefields are not really clear, doing anything. If they were like here, these two. Never mind. Yeah, if the 4 would have been here, that would have mean that they had to come through this way, come around, and that would give you more options. But there you go. So that kind of shows you by doing this. This is a good idea if the objective was over here. It's not. It's here and there. So by even if you did here or 1, 2, 3, 4, and make them go around, that'd probably be better. So those are things to think about when you're placing your minefields. Try by choice, people don't want to go over the minefield because bad things happen. The other thing too is always have the minefield in a place that you can observe it. So if someone wants to walk on it, try to remove it. You have lots of gunfire to greet that individual. But yeah, use it to direct your opponent's movement. And there's Panzer Ghost. So, hey, Ann.
Yes.
Well, I talked. What? What? Boss's DOS? Or yeah, or
sorry, what?
Well, did anyone have any questions about any wonderful that stuff? Oh yeah, there it is. I think Charlie was saying here reinforcements, exact obstacles, deny high-speed avenues of approach, covered by observation, direct and indirect fire. I guess that's probably why you want to put that stuff out there. Does anyone? Okay, so does anyone have any questions? Go ahead and post them if you do. I know most of them you were as we were discussing this.
Is the fellow who asked the question watching?
I know he hasn't. He might watch later.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on. 90% of the people watch later.
Okay. I mean, 2 people on.
Hold on. I like this. Yeah, Charlie Clay. Army training, sir. From Stripes. Is asking. They're asking. Did Panzer Ghost say "Que pasa"?
He's like, "Que pasa?"
Yep. "Que pasa."
How about how to speak in Gonzales?
Yeah. Actually, I have some colleagues that are in Mexico, in Guadalajara, and every time I see them on Teams, "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" And they know that's pretty much the extent of my Spanish. Oh, well, you know what? That's actually that. I think Minefields would have helped. I should have played that when the cat came by. Anyway, the question is, are we using all the new missions for Team Yankee Masters? And some of them have different mine rules. That is correct. We are using the extended missions, and some of them do have different minefield rules. Oh, it says here that Speedy crosses minefields on a 1+. Yeah.
Yes, he does.
What was the other one?
He actually, there was a cartoon where he dealt with a minefield, right? Where he's going across it, and I don't remember. Was it Sylvester was chasing him? And
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of margaritas.
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of margaritas.
Oh.
Hot dog weenie, if I had some more tequila or another más cerveza, I'd come back to Pancho Villa and give him punch in la cabeza.
Yeah. By the way, Speedy's is horrified. Anyway, he's like, "Oh no, what is this?" Roadrunner can run through a minefield. Oh yeah, Roadrunner can run through a minefield and then fed it up in the air and dropped it on Wild E. Coyote. Super genius. All right. Let's play. What did we learn? And did you learn anything today?
I learned how to make margaritas.
Yes, you
This
did.
is the first time I've ever made margarita.
I really like it.
That's cool.
Matter of fact, as soon as we're done here, I'm going to ask for a second.
Okay.
So we got some margaritas going. And learned how to play or make margaritas.
Mhm.
How about you, you fellows out there that are watching? What did you guys learn today? Hopefully, you learned something. What did I learn? I learned. Well, actually, I started this process on Sunday, so I was learning a lot. I learned that there's a problem with basically dropping minefields out of nowhere, and what that does to Russians who just suck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Joe hates the mindlets of freedom. Yeah, you're right. I mean, well, it's because the Russians suck. If I have to roll a 5+ for every tank just to get it out of there, it's like what you know what this is what it does. And these are the people that are successful with Russians. They become turtles. They learn just to be defense only. They're just going to get. They're going to do BMPs or bumps. No, not the bumps, but the not. Oh crap! You know, whatever these things are. They're just going to do those. Pick, defend, turtle up, wait for you to come to them, and then whatever's left, pick it off with what you have, because you can't attack with the Russians. Oh, BTRs. Thanks, guys. Yeah, you just can't attack with the Russians. It's just frustrating. Oh, there's a minefield. Well, we can't cross it, boss. Yeah, somehow in World War II we were awesome, but this modern stuff, forget it. Oh, minefield? I don't know. It's like, hey, send the blind guy out there to try to figure out where the minefield is. Today I learned nothing nothing happy Cinco de Mayo. That's what.
Nothing. Happy to see you next time. Okay.
Oh, you learned nothing. You learned nothing, sir? Nothing? Okay. Anyone else?
No. Any more questions?
I don't know.
Anybody in the back of class?
Oh, okay. Aaron says we'll have to learn to agree to disagree on that one. Infantry and T-62 attacks just fine. Even it's usually via maneuver. Right. Well, with the new missions, I don't think maneuver is going to be an option for those types of lists anymore. I don't know. I need to. We'll have to see. But I don't know if there are options. Those are options anymore, because maneuver is kind of goofy now-ish. I still have to test it out. But yeah, the whole thing about all of a sudden there's a minefield. What can I do? Nothing. Hold on. Let's tap dance across this minefield. Let's see. You can't step on a minefields if you're flying over them in a Hindi. Oh, in a Hind. That is true. You put some Hinds out there, but you know what, Patrick? Every time I've had a Hind, they all just get shot down. Oh yeah, they're just self-defense AA takes out Hinds. It's like, I got Hinds, and then like the guy's all the way, my opponent's all the way across the table. And next thing I know, 6 Hinds is down to 2. The next round, no Hinds. So even with hindsight. yeah, it's just, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I have no luck with that. The only thing I've had luck is the T80 because I can bounce. Yeah, I roll better. I suck on rolling. I have to do it through. I have to be tricky ninjas. I'd have to do tricky ninja moves to actually win because my dice ain't going to do it for me. So, yeah, that's very rarely do they do it. I get these really harsh swings, but anyway, yeah, I can't save I know Heinz save like a 4-up or something like that or something. They just die. Well, the other thing too is all of a sudden they got like 7 hits per, and all of a sudden like, hey, 7 hits per, and you roll and they're like just dying left and right. It's like, where are all these shots coming from? Anyway, and the thing is, I killed half of his his AA, and it just still just buried me. I'm like, haha! I killed half the AA. And it's across the board behind trees and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, brat. Brat. I'm like, really? Anyhow. So was that. Anyway, so with that, we'll be next week. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about Team Yankee Masters and what the format is. And that'll give the time that the guys that have been invited time to digest that, and we'll go from there. And why don't you go ahead and play us out? We're not going to do Tiptoe through the tulips.
No, we're going to actually play a nice street mariachi band playing La Cucaracha,
which means
the cockroach.
The cockroach.
These guys are actually pretty good. The street band.
Yep. So with that, everyone, keep playing. If you guys like what we're doing, hit the thumbs up button or the heart button. That actually helps us out a lot. Racha.
Isn't it Cinco de Mayo with a good mariachi band on the street?
Throw up a like, hit the like. Also tell your friends and neighbors. Remember, also keep watching us because if you're not watching us, your next opponent is, and they'll have that edge on you. You don't need that. Oh, there's actually a chorus. Anyway, it's all right. Let's talk over it. Also, like us, follow us. Most of you guys do that. And kind of building up our community here, or building up our community here. And we'll be seeing you guys out there. I don't know what my next tournament's going to be, but I'm going to do something. Oh, my next tournament's no, it's the 22nd mid-war.
Oh, mid-war. Okay.
Yeah, I still got to figure out when I'm running. All right, everybody. You guys have a good one. Good Cinco de Mayo. We'll see you guys next week, which would be May 12th. You know what May 12th is?
No.
I don't know. It's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Hump day.
Hump day. Yeah. Hey, and guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? By the way, you know that commercial is like well over 10 years old or something like that?
Is this scary?
Yeah, I know. Anyway. All right, everybody. We're going to sign off here. We'll see you guys later, and we'll talk about Team Yankee Masters next week. Get a little bit more details. Everyone take care, and see you till, and be well.